What's going on, guys? If you're interested in investing in leverage ETFs, and I'm talking about for the long term, you may have done a simple Google search and saw all of these articles that come up warning to not do that. Don't invest in the long term, but you might wonder why. So in this video, I'm going to show you why people say not to invest in leverage ETFs in the for the long term, and then why that's not always correct. Some articles may call it time decay or just decay. Other articles may call it drift. And pretty much the goals of leveraged ETFs are to match what the ETF is doing and then amplify it by either ×2 or ×3. So in this example, we're going to be looking at the UPRO, which is UPRO, and that is the S&P 500 ×3. So for every 1% the S&P 500 goes up, this is trying to go up 3%. But the downfall is if the S&P 500 goes down by 1%, then the UPRO will go down by 3%. So if we hop over to the computer, and the best thing to show is this article right here, this author, he has a decent amount of material on leverage ETFs, and he really digs into time decay or drift and really what you need to know about decay when you're investing in leveraged ETFs. So just a quick summary of what this article says, and we're not going to read through the entire article. I'm just going to show you the highlights and what I think is important and what to take away from it. So the simple math of leveraged ETF decay, the fact that drift is not always decay, and it's path dependent. So if we scroll down, right here, this very simple formula explains it. And if I'll have this article in the description so you can read it over, but we're just going to summarize it here. So the point of a leveraged ETF is to amplify its returns. So if you're looking at an ETF that is trying to double, right? So a perfect double leveraged ETF, pretty much what it's saying is if an ETF goes up 25% in one day, and then the very next day it goes down 20%, you are brought back to 1%. You're pretty much brought back to the starting point. And you could test this out. You could put it into the calculator if you type in this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to pull out a calculator. It has to be a scientific calculator. And we're going to plug this in. So open parentheses 1 plus 0.25 close parentheses times open parentheses 1 minus 0.2 close parentheses equals 1. So there you go. It goes up 25% in one day, and then it goes down 20% the very next day. You were brought right back to where you were. So if you put in $100 into the S&P 500, goes up 25%, now you're up to 125, then it drops 20%. You're back down to your $100 investment. Easy math. Now, if you're trying to double it, it will go up. Looks like we got to hit back. Okay. So it will go up instead 1 plus 0.5 close parentheses times, and then it goes down. If it goes down 20%, now we are doubling it, so it will actually go down 40%. 1 minus 0.4 close parentheses equals 0.9. So now you went from $100, then the very next day it goes up to $150, then it drops 20%, but because it's amplified by 2, it actually goes down 40%. Now you're down to $90. That is where decay comes from. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, and that is amplify the returns by either ×2 or ×3. But with this type of decay in this example, this is where people will urge you to stay away. If you're doing day trades, if you're only in it for a short period of time, then yeah, you can make great returns, but they're saying don't be in it for the long term because of this time decay. And what's really bad, and this article talks about it, if we scroll down, they will talk about how it only shows examples of 2008 and like when it was really bad, but they don't show after that. If you stay in it longer than a couple of years, if you're in it for the long haul, what happens? And here's the cool part. This example shows you that this is working against you. However, if we scroll down, the same happens on the upside. And this is called positive drift. So exact same scenario where it's being multiplied by 2. And if you do the math here, we'll pull out the scientific calculator again. You know what, could we actually copy and paste this into the calculator? That'd be pretty cool. Copy, let's see if that works. Awesome, it does. It equals, so that 1.21 is correct. So if this happens, one day it goes up 10%, the very next day it goes up another 10%, you are now positive 21%. Now you would think if you take that 21%, let's clear this. If you're going up 21% with a normal ETF, you would look to reach, if we multiply that by 2, 42% with a leveraged ETF. But just like on the downturn, there's also positive drift on the upturn. So here it is multiplied by 2, and instead of that 42%, you're actually getting 44%. So this is where that drift happens. And because over a long period of time, the market always tends to go up, if we scroll down, here's a 12-month return between 2012 and 2013. The S&P 500 went up 27.5%. Now the U-Pro tries to achieve 3 times leverage. So if we pull out a calculator, that 27.5 multiplied by 3, the U-Pro should return 82%. But instead, it had so much positive drift, it went up 114%. So this can happen when you have these long upticks, you will get these much better results. And it's not a perfect thing. If you look at silver and gold, you may not achieve that, or you may achieve it during this time. It looks like you did achieve it. This was great slippage. And you could read this entire article to better explain it than me just talking to you. But I just want to jump over to Robinhood really quick. And we could see, here's the U-Pro, right? But before the U-Pro, let's actually look at the SPY, okay? We'll click on this. If we look, say, over the course of about 3 months, what happened in 3 months, it's gone up 7.67%, okay? So if we go back to our calculator, clear that out, and we go to 7.67 times 3, the U-Pro should be up 23%. So I don't know what it actually is right now, because we did have a recent drop, but let's see where the U-Pro sits over the course of 3 months. 21%. Okay, so it is a little off. And again, this is what the article states right here. It's path dependent. So it doesn't always work. It depends if the drift is in your favor. And this is what I mean. If we jump over now to the QQQ, the NASDAQ, over the past 3 months, it's gone up 18%. So pull out our calculator, do 18.19, okay? Multiply that by 3, so the TQQQ should be up 54%. TQQQ, and again, this just happened with a massive drop Thursday and Friday. This was after all the hype ended with Apple and Tesla with their split, and the market dropped a lot. Let's go 3 months, 57%. See that? So there's that positive slippage, or that positive drift going up. The very last thing I want to show you is if we go out a little bit further, let's use the QQQ. It's gone up 167%. Pull the calculator out one more time. Let's see, what is it? 167.96. Now this is going to be crazy. We multiply it by 3. So the TQQQ, which is 3 times leverage, should have gone up 503%. And when you let leveraged ETFs sit for a long period of time and slippage is in your favor, look at this, 761%. That's amazing positive drift or positive slippage. So there you have it. Now you understand why articles say stay away from leveraged ETFs because of time decay or decay, whatever you want to call it, or slippage, you name it. That's why they advise you to stay away from it. But they're leaving a vital part out, and that's that this decay or slippage can work both ways. So not only can, yes, you could lose more money than what it's actually trying to achieve, but you could gain a lot more. And if you're a prima bull and you think stonks only go up, then yes, I would say put some money into leveraged ETFs. I have a little bit of money into a leveraged ETF. If we go to it's on Robinhood. Here we go. I have a couple of shares of the UPRO, and I figure every single paycheck, I'm just gonna throw another $25 into it. So it's very, very little amount. It's play money, but I've been making money off it. So it is working. You could see we did have a massive drop. I was up 40%, and this massive drop went all the way down. Now I'm only up 16%. But that's okay. I'm not worried because I think that the market will continue to go up, even if we have more turbulent waters, and then I'll make money from it. So that's my thoughts on leveraged ETFs and really what you need to know about time decay and how important it is to understand it. Decay, drift, it works both ways. But let me know what your thoughts are. Does that make more sense to you now? If not, check out the article, check that author. He has a lot of good videos in regards to decay and how it works and exactly what you can expect with leveraged ETFs. Much better than a lot of other articles you see from like CNBC or any kind of mainstream media. They'll advise you to stay away when really it actually can be a good bet. But other than that, hope you like this video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next one.